Hi. So I wanted to get on really um, fast on a Friday, Fast Friday, and go through this incredible line that so many of you have just gone crazy over, including myself. So, a little backstory about this line. So, maybe over a year ago, I decided I needed to deal with an issue that I was having. And the brand, it was birthed out of an issue that I was having. Um, so in June or July, one of the J's, 2024, I was diagnosed with having adult ADHD, which explained it all. Okay, it explained it all. It explained why I was like making rash decisions, like very, very irrational decisions. For example, 2018, I lose my job, and guess what? I decided to up and leave and move to Tampa. I knew no one in Tampa. I didn't have a reason to be in Tampa, but because of my brain was like, oh my gosh, this is so devastating that I needed to make something happen quickly. So I moved to Tampa and I was there for 3 years. So fast forward, I was making those types of decisions. I'm so glad I made the decision to marry Rory, and that wasn't a bad decision. That was good. But outside of that decision, there have been lots and lots and lots of mistakes, okay, along the way. So being an aromatherapist, a sort of professional aromatherapist, right? Um, I began formulating. And I was already formulating for others with ADHD, but mostly like youth. I needed a way to calm the voices in my head because there were lots of voices in my head. Do this, do that. So I started the company Proper Exchange January 2023. And it was just I'm going to make candles. I'm going to do room sprays. And it was beautiful. People loved both the candles and the room sprays. And so that's all it was. It was just a candle room spray company. And then I decided, I'm kind of getting bored with this. I want to do something else. I didn't know what that something else was. So I started going down the rabbit hole of just researching, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And that was the ADHD brain. That was the brain that says, you can do so much more than what you're doing. And that's making candles and room sprays. You can do so much more. Okay. You can expand the line. You can make custom candles. You can do so much more. What my brain didn't tell me is that I didn't have the capacity to do so much more. I couldn't process the so much more. So it drove Rory crazy. He was just like, okay, babe, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, I don't know. Now, mind you, along the way, I was fascinated with scents and smells. That's the one thing that drew me to making candles because I can go through a candle. I can go through a $50 candle in a week. And so my habit would it cost. Okay, I had a high cost habit. If I find a smell that I like, I'm just gonna make sure I buy it and just overbuy it. So I said, it became a way of me, supporting my habit. So I needed a way to figure out, what am I going to do? Am I going to make candles? Am I going to make room sprays? Am I not? Am I going to go to work? Am I going to be now? Mind you, I was also working like a little part-time job or full-time, but like it was, hey, I'm leaving this job kind of thing. So we, decided, okay, we're going to leave. I'm going to leave, but still, what am I going to do? And the ADHD brain was like in full on crazy mode. No medication, just me trying to figure it out. How I came about becoming an aromatherapist is that I got a newsletter. And I always like to say that this newsletter saved my life. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to stick with it because it did. A newsletter saved my life. So you're watching this video embedded in a newsletter, and I'm hoping it will save your life, but I don't know the likelihood of that. I don't know, because that newsletter saved mine. Because what was inside that newsletter was something that I won't ever forget. It was essential oils, how to use essential oils for pain. And I'm like, what? I was already going through like a major thing with my ankle and it was an excruciating pain, but I just didn't associate essential oils with pain. I thought it was all woo woo, yoga, sound bath, kind of stuff, you use when you want to meditate. And I just kind of dismissed it. But then it was, but what's the harm in clicking these links? I'm already buying the oils. I'm already buying the fragrance oils to make these candles. So why not? So I go on, I say, you know what? Fine. Click the link, squirrel. So I click the link and it takes me to a video of Elizabeth Ashley. She's a clinical aromatherapist out of the UK. And as I started listening to her, it was a light bulb moment. And there was no way I would make candles and be the same. And it was just no way. I could not take that information that I gathered and learned and said, oh, okay, that was some good information. Let me just move on and buy my fragrance oils and keep it moving. Because now I'm doing candles again. Yeah, I told you. So I go up, I scroll up, and I buy the oil. And the oil I bought was frankincense. But not just any frankincense, because then I was like, frankincense, we hear frankincense, we think there's just one frankincense, right? It's just frankincense. No, there's not. In fact, there's 6, 7, 8 species of frankincense. There's Carteri, Sacra, Serrata, Furiana, Dizeli. I feel like I'm missing one. But anyway, there are multiple. So when I said frankincense, I was like, really? But the frankincense I used to nurse my ankle pain was frankincense, the Boswellia serrata, which it comes out of India. Who knew India had frankincense trees or Boswellia trees? So anyway, I wasn't even thinking about, first of all, I think frankincense, I think Christmas, I think Jesus, I think Bible. I don't think frankincense and pain and emotions and spiritual. I don't think that. So why would I think anything other than what I've always been taught? Frankincense was used in the Bible. So now I order this frankincense, serrata. It comes and I start using it. Fast forward 1 month, my pain is gone. I'm not exaggerating. It is gone. It is gone. Now, that's, you say, oh my gosh, was it the frankincense? I mean, what was it? Yes, it was. A carrier oil, a lotion, anything I could put because I had to learn how to use it. Because I'm like, I've got this bottle. How do I use it? How do I use it? How do I use a bottle of like, it's just pure oil? What am I supposed to do with this? Am I supposed to just put it directly on me? Absolutely not. But I didn't know that at the time. I was just like, okay, put some in my hand, rub it, put it on my ankle. Luckily, with frankincense, it's such a gentle oil, it didn't burn me. But that's what we call in the aromatherapy world as putting an oil on neat. And that is with no carrier. You're just putting straight on to the skin and that's called neat. There's no barrier. There's no carrier that goes in between. So now I feel like, this is weird. So you mean to tell me this little bottle of oil, and I only had, in a month, I'd only used a quarter of it because I learned, I was Googling, because this is before Chatty. Chat GPT, for those who like the formal name. So this is before Chat GPT. So I'm thinking, Google, how to use this frankincense serrata? And it would say 1 drop to 1 teaspoon of carrier. So then I said, Elizabeth Ashley said that. So I went back to her videos and I binged everything, everything she'd ever made as far as videos and aromatherapy and essential oils and how the brain works and how the parasympathetic and the sympathetic and the amygdala, all of this stuff. It was overwhelming, but it was so good. So then I said, I want to learn this. I want to learn this. But I didn't realize that learning this wasn't going to be like another hobby. Oh, I can learn this. It'll be a hobby. No, I wanted to become a professional aromatherapist, which required 10 case studies. Yeah, 10. 10 different ailments. Couldn't be, this person has diabetes, this person has diabetes, this person has gout. No, it was diabetes, gout, anxiety, insomnia, headaches, knee pain. It was the gamut. I had to pick 10 different things and try them out on people, like learning the oils, getting the oils and testing and testing and testing and writing, my conclusions and building it out. It was a full on, education. So I get my aromatherapy. I learn my anatomy and physiology. Like it was real. It was deep. But I'm a researcher and I love learning. So I was fine. I was like, okay, this is good. Not bad. But I had no idea where it would take me. I just said this was something I have. I could always say I have it. And I can go back to making candles and room sprays. And working with me and Rory on our health, whatever's going on with us. But then something happened. When people started calling and saying that this was going on, oh, I got a friend with cancer. Oh, I got a friend with gout. Oh, I have a friend who just, left the hospital with this or that. And I could not keep quiet. I was like, oh, you ever tried this or you ever tried that? Like became the person that you would call if you had anything going on with you. They would say, call Debbie. She has an oil. She has something for you. So the calls started to come in. My child can't focus. My child can't concentrate. My child can't sleep. So then I started formulating and giving recommendations for children. The one thing I will say in this journey, because it's a journey, is that this modality isn't a one size fits all. Okay. You say the modality of using the essential oils in a diffuser. That's one modality. Another modality was, so the word modality is just different ways. It's just that you want different ways because different people respond differently. They just do. We do. I don't really respond well with diffusion. I like it. It smells good, but I really don't do so well with diffusion. But I love topical, where someone else may like diffusion, someone else may like aromatherapy. I actually respond very well to aromatherapy pendant. That's where you put a few drops of the oil in the pendant and you just you're breathing it in all day. So there's different ways to go about aromatherapy. What I learned and what I noticed is that in helping others and treating others, I myself needed some extra tender, loving care because I was still dealing with my own mental health matters. I won't say issues, but matters that caused me to kind of like, want to put it down, put this down, no, okay, you're not doing this anymore. You got to move on to something else. It kept trying to pull me to move to something else, and I just wouldn't let it. So to keep me from being pulled, because it was pulling me, I started formulating like a mad scientist, and I created a product that would just be a game changer. for not just myself, but for so many, so many. And it was keep calm. This has, this product has been, I mean, it's been widely just popular because the way I formulated it was just a very unique, very, very special way. And it was taking me. I was at the center. And I know it's always about you. It's about you. It's about you. No, this product was about me because I took all of the elements of earth, wind, fire, water, the elements. And I said, let's converge them. Let's make them converge. So in this product, there's lavender, there's lemon, there's bergamot, there's vetiver, there's eucalyptus, there's spearmint. You put those together and it's a beautiful, beautiful synergy of real, real transformation. So I started formulating and made the room spray. Then I actually made, let me see, I actually started with the tea, but it was a tea. And then it became a blend. Started with the 2-ounce room spray, 4-ounce room spray. It evolved into a body oil. And of course, we can't forget about, I guess it would help if you saw the product. It evolved into the candle. Oh my. Absolutely. Beautiful. So each of them are they're all pretty much are the same except for the body oil. The body oil um, has a little more vetiver because you're putting it on the body and you want the systems of the body to be calm. So that's what I say, keep calm. The room spray, the 2-ounce and the 4-ounce are the same. And then the blend also has vetiver in it. These two, I'm sorry, they don't. I said they did, but they don't. These two do not have vetiver. It was a decision I made not to include vetiver in the formulation for the room sprays, but for the blends, it does. And for the body oil, it does. For the candle, it does. Because you're getting that, a convergence of just beautiful oils, beautiful plants, and the crisp aroma of a eucalyptus and a lavender. And then you take a vetiver, which is a deep grounding note. It's like, ooh, it's woodsy and like musky. It's beautiful. The blends are just absolutely beautiful. So that is the story, and I'm sticking to it. But yes, I know that's the long way of saying we could all use a little calm in our lives. I know I can. I can use calm every single day. So if you don't have calm, maybe you should try 1, 2, or maybe all of them and see how your body responds to it. And yeah, I appreciate you just being here and just want you to know that this is the year of calm from one calm person to another. See you later.